Namaste. I, Dr. J. Singh, Assistant Professor at Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur, Department, Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Today, our topic is History of Tissue Culture. So, what is the history or a timeline for the tissue culture? It all began in 1832 when a man by the name of Theodore Schwann presented the crazy idea that you can grow the cell outside from the original host body as long as stringent externally conditions are created. These external conditions would need to create a sterile environment for the tissue culture to develop. 3 years after the signaling or seemingly improbable statement, a man, namely Wellman Rouse, proved that the theory in 1835. Rouse successfully performed a culture embryonic chicken cell by using the salt solution as his media. Fast forward another 4 years to 1839 when 1839 comes, and another man by the name is Richtninger proposed the first parameter of this revolutionary method. According to Richner's experiment, the tissue culture method would be only successful if the fragment had a minimum thickness of 1.5 millimeter. Any piece thickness that 1.5 millimeter would not be able to grow. Then, for the most 50 years after this advancement, the tissue culture method experienced little to no noteworthy mention. Noteworthy mentions. In 1885, the researchers observed the growth of leukocyte cells from the salamanders in an artificial environment, and in 1903, another researcher noticed the same thing. Have you heard about the father of tissue culture? In 1907, Rose Granville Harrison, American zoologist, was able to culture the nerve cell from the frog's solidified limbs. Because of his contribution to the tissue culture method, Harrison now has the title of father. There was several another successful tissue culture processing throughout the century, and in the 1929 the first culture was successfully performed in England by a fellow D.H. Fell. Tissue culture has now been the making waves in the plant environment as well. This is mainly thanks to the potential profit that could stem from the tissue culture method, increasing yield, healthier genes and a dry environment. Although tissue culture has been around since the beginning of the 18th century, plant tissue century, only began developing of 1989. Gottlieb Haberland, a German biologist, made the first attempt to use the in vitro method with grow plant tissue. The cell he used were varied parasite tissue coming from the leaf, the pith, the epidermis, epidermal hairs. Initial experiment was fruitful for the several months. However, the cell did not proliferate further. Over the years, many experiments used similar parameters. In these experiments, the cells survived for the longer time, but they also failed to proliferate. The first root tip was cultured in 1922, and by making use of subculturing and maintained their culture root for the 20 weeks. In 1930s, it was recognized that vitamin B and oxygen were the key component in growing root culture using the tissue culture method. Over the century, many similar experiments were conducted and researchers began identify the most important parameter that should guide our tissue culture process today. Whether you are growing the industry for the profit or the pleasure, the tissue culture method would be the best thing of your birth. So, this is history of the tissue culture. Our next topic begins the type of plant tissue culture. So, there are the different type of plant tissue culture. Callus culture. In callus culture, cell division in explant from a callus. Callus irregular, unorganized, undifferentiated mark of actively dividing cell. Darkness and solid medium gelled by the agar stimulant callus formation. The medium contain the auxin, benzyl hormone, purine. Both are growth regulators. This stimulates cell division in explant. Callus is obtained within the 2 or 3 weeks. So this is callus subculture. How to maintain that? After sufficient type of callus growth on the same media, following changes will occur, like depletion of the nutrient in the media, gradual loss of water, accumulate of the metabolite toxins. Hence, the maintenance of the growth in the callus, it is necessary to subculture the callus. Subculture should be repeated after 4 to 5 weeks. Then come forward to the next culture, that is single cell culture. As stated earlier that the cell derived from the single cell through mitosis constitute a clone, and process of obtaining clone is called the cloning. Asexual progeny of the single individual made up of the clone. There are 2 popular techniques in the single cell culture. Then next is root tip culture. Tip of the lateral roots are sterilized and excised and transferred to the fresh medium. The lateral root continue to grow and provide the several roots. After 7 days that are used to initiate stock or experiment, thus the root material derived from the single radicle, such genetically uniform root culture are referred to as the clone of isolated root. Next is leaf culture. Leaves culture. Leaves in like 800 micrometer may be detached from the shoot or surface, sterilized and placed in the healthy condition of the long period. Growth rate of the culture depend on their stages of maturity at the excision. Young leaves have more growth potential than the nearly mature one. Then come toward the shoot tip culture. The exercised shoot tip 100 to 1000 micrometer long of many plant species can be cultured on this relatively simple nutrient media. This media must contain the growth hormone and will often form the root and develop into the whole plant. Then complete flower culture. Flower 2 days after pollination are excised, sterilized by immersions and 5% calcium hypochlorite washed with the sterilized water. Transfer this to the culture tube containing a agar medium. Fresh fruit which develop as smaller than their neutral or a natural counterpart size can increase by supplementing the medium with the appropriate combination of growth hormone. Anther culture. Young flower bud are removed from the plant and surface is sterilized. The anther are then excised and transferred to the appropriate nutrient medium. The plantlet are formed after 4 to 5 weeks of the inoculation. Many plantlets are produced from the single anther. Right? Next is pollen culture. Pollen grains are removed from the anther. Anther are placed in the 5 ml liquid media in the petri dish. Petri dish containing the pollen grains in the culture media and are sealed with the paraffin. Incubated at the 28° in the dark for the 14 days. 3 to 4 weeks may be required to obtain the haploid plantlets. What is the application of the tissue cultures? Tissue culture is used to conserve the rare species of the forest. A plant breeder may use the tissue culture to screen cell rather than the plant. Larger scale growth of plant cell is liquid culture as a source of secondary products like recombinant proteins used for the biopharmaceutical, to cross distantly related species by protoplast fusion, help in crop improvement, creation of additional genetic variation, selection of plant resistant to toxins, viruses, etc. Suitable for breeding of tree species, production of many plants that are cloned to each other, production of the disease-free plants. Tissue culture have also advantage of the time server. With the help of root culturing, plants are ready to grow with which save time. Next is polyploids. Polyploids, we already know, refer to when the organ has more than 2 complete set of chromosomes. This condition is frequently found in plants. Polyploids can be divided into based on the number of chromosomes. I already told you. Triploids like 3 sets, tetraploids 4 sets, pentaploids 5 sets, hexaploids 6 sets, octaploids 8 sets, decaploids 10 sets, and dodeca is 12 sets. What is the importance of polyploids? Polyploids identify the genetic origin of the crops, generate new plants, genotypes and species, enable introgations of the genes from the related species, self-fertilization, heterosis, crossbred plant species having the superior quantities than those of the either of its parents, complete the no chromosome having even the set of chromosomes. A plant may be made of sterile by developing a triploids, fertile tetraploids and diploids are hybridized to get the triploids. Polyploids can be used to obtain the seedless fruits such as seedless watermelons. Another example of successful polyploids is the banana, which is the triploid seedless and sterile. As with the hybrid, polyploids have been observed to be bigger and more robust than their diploid parents. This may include bigger leaves, flowers and fruits, as well as the increase in height. For example, in the strawberry plants, diploid varieties of the strawberry have similar fruit with less yield, whereas tetraploid varieties have bigger and better yield. The polyploids can also be more disease and pest resistant, just like seedless watermelon, strawberry, and this is polyploid. Next is mutation. Mutation is the inheritable changes in the characteristic of organism. Mutation can occur spontaneously in the nature and they may induce experimentally. Mutation can be beneficial, harmful to the individuals. Important, less time consuming. Agricultural revolutions production of new species. This is the to increase the crop yield also. This is the importance of the mutation. That is all about our topic. So thank you so much. If you have any query,